Her mother always wore makeup to bed. Years later, she realizes the chilling truth. Wearing makeup has become the norm in our society. Women from all over the world enhance their beauty with a touch of lipstick, mascara, eyeshadow, foundation, and other makeup products. One woman, however, would never remove her makeup, even before going to bed. She would sleep with the same makeup that she wore during the day. Her strange habits had always mystified her daughter, Gail. Gail Lukasic had always looked up to her mother, Alvera Rita. She was a stunningly beautiful woman. She met Gail's father, Harold, during World War II, and the pair had been inseparable since. In 1945, after World War II, the couple got married and settled in a working-class neighborhood in Parma, Ohio. 2 years after, Alvera gave birth to their daughter, Gail. Gail Lukasic had a seemingly normal childhood. She was raised by two loving parents who spent a lot of time with her. However, at times, Gail felt mystified by her mother's strange behavior. While growing up, Gail noticed some odd things that her mother would do on a regular basis. She was very meticulous about her makeup. She would wear a light foundation to bed every night. Gail asked her why she was always wearing makeup, even during the night, and her mother said, "Well, Gail, you never know when you're going to get sick. What if in the middle of the night the ambulance would come? You always want to look your best because you would get treated better at the hospital." Her mother would never go out in the sun unless she had a hat on. Also, the woman would always cover her hands with gloves, no matter what time of year it was. But what mystified Gail the most was the way her mother talked about her own family. Gail never met her grandfather, Azamar Frederick. She was always curious about him and couldn't understand why her mother wouldn't allow them to meet. She asked her mother when her grandfather was born, and when did he die? Her mother would always say, "Oh, I don't know," or "I can't remember." Not only did Gail never meet her grandfather, but she also never saw any photos of him. Something was telling her to dig deeper, and finally, after several decades, she decided to search for her grandfather's identity. In 1995, when Gail was 48 years old, she first searched for his identity using microfilm. In the beginning, she couldn't find him anywhere. Then, Gail put in the 1900 Louisiana census records, and finally, she found the name she was looking for, Azamar Frederick. There were also other Fredericks in the same column. Next to all their names, there was the letter B. Gail looked at the name of the row under which the letters were placed, and her heart nearly dropped when she realized the meaning behind them. The name of the row was Color of Race, and the letter B meant black. Gail wanted to confront her, but first she reached out to the state of Louisiana requesting her mother's birth certificate. She pretended to be her mother on the phone and said that she had lost her birth certificate. Soon after the phone call, she received the document. While Gail was reading her mother's birth certificate, she noticed the letters COL written under one section. She asked the state of Louisiana to explain what the letters COL she noticed on her birth certificate stood for. Shortly after, Gail received an official letter back from the state. The letter explained that COL is an abbreviation for the designation colored. For the next 2 years, Gail couldn't stop thinking about her discovery. One day, she finally decided to confront her mother about it. One afternoon, Gail asked her why she was listed as COL on her birth certificate. She explained to her that she'd found her birth certificate in which she was listed as colored. Her mother instantly became nervous and uncomfortable. She said, "I don't know what birth certificate you have, but mine says I'm white." Gail told her that she found some other documents as well, such as the census records, in which her grandfather was listed as black. She also explained to her mother that the letters COL written on her birth certificate that she received from the state stood for colored. Gail's mother had a sad look in her eyes. "You have to promise me you will never tell anyone until after I die," she said. After a short pause, her mother added, "Because how will I hold my head up with my friends if they know?" Suddenly everything made sense. Her strange makeup habit, being afraid of the sun, and her constant need to wear a hat and gloves outside, Gail's mother had been passing for white her whole life. But why? As it turns out, her transition into a white woman started when she met Gail's father. Harold was white. He wasn't aware of the fact that Alvera Rita was a black woman. When the couple decided to get married, Alvera took on the white race and moved to Ohio with her husband. She cut her parents off and started her new life as a white woman, and that was the only choice she had. Gail's father was a typical white man of his generation. His views on life and opinions significantly differed from Alvera's. Gail would often hear her parents arguing because of something unacceptable her father said. While watching the television, he would often throw a racial slur. Alvera Rita knew her husband would never accept her if she were black, so she made her decision. Alvera Rita asked her daughter to keep her secret until her death. Gail kept her mother's secret for 17 years. She never told anyone about her mother's past. I know my mother wanted a better life for herself, and the way she saw that was to pass for white. She would have more opportunities for employment and in society in general. To do that, she had to turn her back on her mixed race heritage and leave her family behind. It was a big sacrifice. She could never live her true, authentic self, said Gail. Comment what you thought of Gail's mother's story below. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more content.